strong, tough, physical. He can play that interior D tackle spot, but he's more of a rotational 3-4 end. What's up, guys? It's your boy Damian Parson here at the Draft Network to talk about the Denver Broncos 2022 NFL Draft Class. Of course, this is a team that's made some changes at the quarterback position, trading for Russell Wilson, so the expectations are high. Let's get into their draft class. Of course, as I just stated, they traded their first-round pick to Seattle for Russell Wilson, which means their first pick in the draft was at pick 64 in the second round. They picked edge rusher out of Oklahoma, Nick Bonitto. This is a team that does not have Von Miller anymore. Nick Bonitto is an explosive, bendy, quick twitch edge rusher, right? So this is a defense that has relied on the edge rush for a long time. So adding Nick Bonitto, he may not come in as somebody that can help the run right away, but his ability to come in as maybe a DPR. I don't think he's going to be a day one starter with Randy Gregory and Bradley Chubb there, but on those sub packages, he can come in and give you those fresh legs that can really pressure these offensive tackles up the field, which will allow him to work back inside. He can come in and get immediate pressure on the quarterback. I really love this pick for the Denver Broncos, especially with the litany of quarterback talent in the AFC West. And with their round 3, their second pick in the draft, pick 80, they went tight end, right? And along with that Russell Wilson trade, they traded Noah Fant, which left a hole at the tight end position. Greg Dulcich from UCLA. Greg Dulcich is a vertical threat in the passing game. He's competitive in the run game. He will help you in terms of run blocking on the edge. He does have some technical things he has to correct because that's not a big strength to his game. But again, you think about the play action pass, you think about having an accurate big arm quarterback like Russell Wilson. Greg Dulcich's ability to press up the hash marks, cut cross field on these deep overs, on these deep crossing routes, deep posts, and even corner routes. And with his ability to sell blocks, that gives you something in the delay game where he can sell the run the game, sell the block for you, and then release out late. Greg Dulcich will be someone that's going to be more of a second tight end with Albert O as the projected starter. So I think he's going to be second on the depth chart, but I do expect him to see the field. Greg Dulcich is a great pick for the Denver Broncos. Let's go to the 4th round, pick 155, DAMARRI MATHIS, right? This is a young defense, and their secondary has been strong for them, this past year or two. But they continue to add some talent there. DAMARRI MATHIS is an athletic corner, so I'm down at the Senior Bowl as well. A guy that doesn't mind getting physical in the contact window, in press coverage. And I'm excited to see how he fits into this defense that has Patrick Surtain and some of these other guys. Because again, corner isn't a huge need for them, but just adding that quality depth. I think he's going to be more of a depth piece. I think he could play in the nickel as well. So I project him to be kind of a secondary corner that comes in on those sub packages, which we all know that the NFL does play more nickel packages anyway. So he will battle for that nickel spot, but that's where I see him as a kind of a rotational piece on defense. Their other 4th round pick, 116. Try to pronounce his name correctly. UWAZURIKE, D tackle from Iowa State. The interior of this defensive line and this front 7 needs to improve, right? Get more physical, be able to create more interior pressure, and UWAZURIKE can do that, right? He can get into those gaps and really push the pocket as well. And then he's hopefully he can help them in the run game. Because one thing about it, when you have a strong secondary, you want to make sure that you can keep teams in those 3rd and 8s. And just adding that interior talent to rotate, which I think that's what he will be for this early on, at least for this defense, is be more of a rotational piece. But still, this is one of those guys that you want to have, you bring to your roster to help the run game and then hope to generate some interior pressure to get into the lap of the quarterback. Let's go to their 5th round pick. Safety hybrid DB from Oklahoma, DELARRIN Turner-Yale. This is a very versatile type of defense. That's why I call him a hybrid. I've seen him play in the nickel. I've seen him play just more so in coverage, and I've seen him play at the safety. He doesn't mind coming into the box and making his presence known and helping in the run game. But he also doesn't mind dropping off in the coverage and sitting into certain zones and reading his landmarks and getting into the eye way and the eye path of the opposing quarterback to deter them from making that throw. He's more of a more of a rotational guy as well. I think you're really going to see his imprint, especially on special teams. But he's somebody that can carve out a role defensively when you want to go ahead and bring in an extra defender on some of those dime packages, or if you want to go to a 3 safety look as well, which the NFL has been doing. 5th round, pick 162, Montrell Washington from Sanford, right? This is a team that has a lot of talent at wide receiver. So this is a young man that's going to come in and just kind of be a depth piece for them, right? Whether, we know the KJ Hamler's coming back off of injury. So if injuries happen, you need depth. And Montrell Washington will offer that for them. He gives you some athleticism. He's 5'9", 181. So he's not the biggest guy, but you think about the slot machines and what Russell Wilson has dealt with Tyler Lockett. He's going to give you kind of the Tavon Austin-esque type of role. So I think he's going to be, he can help you in the return game. He's an explosive and speedy receiver. So he's someone to definitely watch out for, but I definitely think he's more of a depth piece than a projected starter. Let's go over to their next pick, and that is going to be Luke Wattenberg, center from Washington. This offensive line is a solid one, but again, depth always helps, right? So adding that center help, Luke Wattenberg is going to help the interior offensive line. 6'4", 299. He kind of fits that zone scheme, right? That's what they run. They run more of a zone scheme than more power or gap. So that allows him to do so. He's a starter, 4-year starter. He played left guard and he played center. So he gives you some versatility. He's going to help with the quick angle blocks, getting out of the stance. And again, he's going to be able to reach guys because of his quickness. And that's one of the things that I really like about his game, just his quickness and his foot speed to get out and reach these 4 eyes and 3 techniques in the run game. So definitely keep an eye on him. He's more of a depth piece, as I stated earlier, but I like this pick for them. Sixth pick at 206, you have Matt Henningsen. He's one of my favorite guys in terms of a sleeper. Matt Henningsen, defensive tackle, IDL from Wisconsin, 6'3", 289, strong, tough, physical. He can play that interior D tackle spot, but he's more of a rotational 3-4 end, kind of a 5 technique for this 3-4 defense. He's going to really help you in the run game, taking on and attacking gaps and taking on double teams. He does a great job of it, uses his length and his body well. He has great body control and contact balance to kind of eat up some space at that 5 technique spot, which will allow those edge rushers to kind of get one-on-one in the run game against these tight ends. So he's someone he's just a tough, gritty, physical kid, and he's smart. That's one of the big things from that defense over at Wisconsin. So I'm looking forward to seeing him. He's more of a rotational piece as well. And with their last pick in the 2022 NFL draft, they went back to the well in Wisconsin, FAION HICKS, cornerback, 5'10", 189. He was a redshirt senior. Feisty, sticky corner in press coverage. He uses more soft press than being just an overly physical and aggressive press coverage, and that's smart for a guy of his size and stature, especially going up against some of the bigger receivers in this conference that he's been drafted to. But you think about the depth, getting back to playing kind of at no-fly zone. You want to have as much talent at the cornerback position. Hicks will definitely help them. He has a quick hip swivel. He can turn and run with guys. Again, soft press will mirror and match, and he's just sticky. He's going to help them, I believe, on special teams as well. He's a ball challenger. He will be competitive at the catch point. So again, Denver's getting back to their toughness, their physicality, and just their sticky coverage, adding more talent to the secondary. But of course, let me know, guys, how do you feel? What are your thoughts on the Denver Broncos 2022 NFL Draft Class? Remember to follow us and subscribe at the Draft Network for all your NFL draft and college football needs.